know, is it the weekend already? I can't actually believe it. Welcome to Gemstone Tarot. Okay. I keep looking at the computer where the picture should be looking at you. Okay, we're going to do an oracle card, and it is Colette Baron Reid, Wisdom of the Oracle. Have I actually said when the dates are? I'm not sure I have. Maybe I didn't dare. Okay, Saturday the 22nd, Sunday the 23rd of January 2022. Thank you very much. And the moon gliding from Virgo into Libra, I do believe, at 22:02 in the UK. And then, of course, it's in Libra all day Sunday. We get each year Never Ending Story. I really like this card, actually. The details on it are really gorgeous. So you have somebody sat on an old-fashioned sand timer, and they have, I don't know if you can see that, they have a heart with yes and no. God, it does focus quite well, doesn't it? Try that camera. Yes and no. And then love in the middle. And it's one of those, you know, they love me not type thing. And this sand timer kind of, it's almost like a contraption that you'd see, you know, like the beginning of Back to the Future, when he's trying to he feeds the dog on that like massively complicated mechanism. It feels a bit like that, where someone's made a machine. But then we have this person. It kind of looks like a fairy that's fallen. You know, the wings are all tattered, and quite honestly, it's a bit of a stinker whatever is going on. You know, it's that whole, what fresh hell is this? Am I ever going to get out of this story? The never-ending, repetitive story. And this card tends to come up when you're caught in some kind of loop of something. It comes up very often in terms of relationships if you're involved in a cyclical relationship, you know, like one that breaks up and gets together and breaks up and gets together. Or it can be if it's a cycle where you're at work and it feels almost the same, like you love your job, you hate your job, or your boss, you know, has cycles of moods, or someone you work with, or whatever it is. And it feels like you can never get out of it. I'm just trying to see what that is next to them. Oh, it's a mirror. So there's a mirror. Mirrors imply shadow work, methinks. Okay. Tarot of the 78 Doors. A fairly shadowy tarot, if I ever knew one. Some tarot decks are more shadow than others, aren't they, really? Okay. Thank you, cards. I think they've all just dropped out on their own. That's the ones. Oh, we're not doing reversals. We don't actually need to. We don't need to. Oh, wowzers. Ha-ha. I don't know why I always go pirate on these occasions. Ha-ha. But I do. Okay, and then I think I want Kitchen Tarot, I've got it. See, now I can just reach over, she says, with impunity, and find any deck I like. Woohoo! Okay. How strange. That's weird, and not just because of my television preferences, but that's the blender, and I read it as the Bachelor, which is quite weird, isn't it? Okay, let's have a good old looky-see. This is the overall energy card. Let's try and get it so you can actually see it properly. The blender. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Love this tarot deck. And then we have the various ingredients and the way that things go into blenders. And then, of course, when it's a bit like, of course, with temperance, yeah, you can see it here. You've got the two women at the sides, two cats as well at the sides, who are pouring stuff in, which represents, you know, in Judgment, you always have someone with two jugs of stuff and they're sort of pouring. Playing with the energies. Okay. If you can get, and it's going to be a bit of a tall order, but if you can get playful, it's my playful mind. Also, bad swimming, you know, that's my, I don't want to get my fringe wet way that I swim. And I hardly ever swim. Like, I swim like that. I'm one of those annoying, if you're a regular swimmer, you'll know me. I never go in the fast lane, obviously, but you know, when there's someone just like that, that's me. If you can be playful about this, it will really help. Because there's some vagaries here, there's some troublesome aspects, there's some jiggery pokery. It's not really fundamentally nasty or anything. We have the Seven of Swords, and I'm not surprised to see it. And somebody is painting these doors, which are quite uniform, but they're doing them in an abstract way. So the way that they see a situation, of course, to every individual is different, isn't it? You see it one way, they see it another way. If you were both to paint the same doors, you'd make a very different picture, okay? And again, we got the Four of Cups. It's just me on an average Saturday night. There we go. Four of Cups is, it's emotional neutral, but it can also be decadent boredom. Yes. You may be working with someone who is not pulling their weight. You may be in relationship to somebody or with somebody who's not pulling their weight. It feels like you're not going to know quite what it is underneath all this. If you look here, we've got the moon. When you get the moon, there is muck and mystery involved. There's stuff hidden, there's stuff behind the scenes. There's, you know, there's just that feeling that you're not quite sure, you're not quite on board, you're not utterly aware. It's not transparent like when you get the sun, which we also have. Now, you could be dealing with Leo people, or you could be a Leo, or it could be, you know, Leo is the sign of the actor, of the stage, of the performer. So this could be whatever your life stage is. If you go to an office every day, that could be where it plays out. It could be your family, whatever it is. There's a sense of a stage playing out, a story playing out. And at the moment, it's at that stage that often happens in films and books where nobody really knows what's happening. And sometimes that's the most interesting stage. I know, but I think you're going to get a feeling, particularly with Mercury doing its thing, that you're going to feel like there's no way out of it. You feel like it's a never-ending story. I feel like the exit will emerge if you play with the energies and keep your cool. We got the Ace of Cups. Very, very nice card. There is love, there is abundant energy, there is love available to you as well. Now notice as well, when we get the moon and the sun, that eclipses come in, bring some kind of bearing on it. The last eclipse, there you go, that's my maths face. I can't remember when the last eclipse was at all. It was a while ago. The next one I think is in April or May. So just make a note of that this might take till then to fully resolve itself. I'm just looking here. I wish it had last year's eclipses. 30th of April is the next one, then the 16th of May. Let me know in the comments section and let us all know when the last eclipse was, because I can't really look it up at the moment. Okay, we have the Page of Wands and the Knight of Wands, a building of momentum. Again, fire sign energy, but the energy of stuff wanting to make an action on something, take action, do something, change this, say that, rah, you know, it's that feeling of that Knight of Wands feeling, and it's building. And next to it, where else but justice, the law courts, the city hall, whatever you want to call it. This is the courts of justice. Seeing as it says, oh my God, why did I start this? Eustatia est constans et. Okay, I think it might be Latin. Does anybody know what that means? I think it's justice and constancy, maybe. I'm going to show it to you. If anyone knows, translate it. I know there are scholars among you. Okay, either way, the Knight and the Page of Wands are rushing to the Justice. You see things differently. You and this person, this organisation, whatever it is, you paint a different picture. Sometimes that's all it is. And that's so irritating when nobody's right or wrong, where it's fair or unfair. It just is. And at the moment, the energies are very much of two conflicting things being held at the same time. You could be both right and both wrong. I know, it's that whole I'm going to knock your heads together at primary school frustration. Play with the energies. Be creative with the mess. See where it takes you. That's your best course of action. Be the blender. Throw it all into the blender. See what kind of sauce comes out. Okay? Just like my kind of cooking. Now I'm flying. Oh, there's an ambulance as well. Or is it a fire engine? And a bird. And all sorts, can I just say, about the street. And I won't say too much because you never know. All sorts going on at that hotel across the road. It was someone I knew that I saw the other day. We'll leave it there. I'll see you soon. Namaste.